Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Optimistic Agenda podcast. I am so happy that you're here. Today, I'm bringing you an Instagram live on all things releasing and forgiveness that I did with Tanya for our upcoming 2-day live workshop, Unlock Your Personal Power to Step into Your Main Character Energy. It is from a live, so please bear with the audio because this is the best I could do for it. But there is so much valuable stuff in there that we shared. So I did want it here just in case you're like me and you prefer listening to the audio on whatever speed that you like, as opposed to tuning into an Instagram live where you can't exactly control anything and you have to have the app on all the time. So without further ado, please enjoy.
Mausam is going to join me. So, folks, gang, people, today we're here to talk about forgiveness because, as you know, I am in the process last year, and now it's coming back. Hi guys. Hey, Mausam. Hey, OJD. Mausam is joining me. Hey, Mausam.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Still gassy, but I'm good.
For some reason, I can't hear you properly again.
All right, does that sound better?
Much better.
Okay, I guess my headphones are being rude. Anyway, it's okay. We'll roll with it.
Okay,
How's it
we're
going?
gonna remove the filter because it's nasty. Has it gone?
Oh, you've got a
Yeah, it's
filter?
gone.
I didn't even notice.
Hello, everyone. Hi, Tanya.
Hey, Rasha.
How's it
Hey,
going?
Mausam. Good.
What are we?
Everyone who's joining, Mausam and I are hosting a workshop next weekend. We did it last year.
It's not
It was a
next
one-day
weekend.
thing. Yes,
It's the other weekend.
the 3rd of February.
Yeah.
Okay. 3rd of February, we're hosting a workshop, forgiveness and gratitude. So we're here to just talk about, hey, Atena. Atena attended our workshop, actually. She can tell you a
Yes.
bit about it. We're here to just talk about forgiveness and I guess share a bit about what it's done for us and just have a conversation. To be honest, we don't have a plan. We just wanted to come over here and talk a bit about forgiveness.
Yeah, we were just chatting about our journeys, because I was speaking to some people, and first of all, I just wanted this to be super informal. Well, thank you, Atena. It was amazing. Um, and I'm so excited for this one because there is so much more that I've learned in the last, how long has it been? 6 months,
Mm-hmm.
or something. But yeah, like I was just, I've been speaking to quite a few people, and I wanted this to be such an informal chat around just our journeys, because there's so many people out there who are not familiar with the concept, who are not familiar with um forgiveness. And a lot of people also thinking like, oh, yeah, but I already forgive, or like forgive and forget, so if I forgive, that means I'll forget. And that is something we just wanted to, I mean, the idea is just to, address that and be like, yeah, just because you've forgiven does not mean that we are condoning the other behavior, like everyone, whoever's behaviors or anything, if it's a person, or saying that whatever was done is okay.
Mm-hmm.
But it's more about releasing ourselves from the shackles of that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, Mosam actually shared a quote which I love, which we go down in during the workshop about how not forgiving someone is what is it? Is swallowing the poison. What was the quote about the poison and the forgiveness?
It's that didn't interrupt my, oh, here I am. It was try like holding on to anger is like taking like drinking the poison yourself and expecting the other person to die. That's
Mm-hmm.
what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's one of the reasons we forgive. It's purely selfish. It's for yourself, right?
It really is. It really is, because a lot of the times, we're going through life um wearing like our own lenses, that we're looking through, like I like how people say don't wear. Some people say don't wear. Now people are saying wear rose-colored glasses, and it's really the lenses and the glasses are interchangeable, and a lot of the times the thing that we're looking out through is from our past experiences, is from our past like interactions and all of that. So if we're not, if we're still holding on to that baggage of this person said this to me, this person did this to me, um, this thing happened to me, oh poor me. Like if we're going to constantly keep looking and experiencing and life through that, like wearing that lens, we're going to project the same thing outside, like in front of us, into the future. So
Mm.
essentially what we're doing is we are recreating the past.
It's almost exactly. It's like it's
Where
almost
we,
crippling you. And when we talk about the main character energy stuff, because you know me, when you don't forgive, you're essentially living in someone else's movie. You're like
yeah,
a
exactly.
side piece.
Exactly, and incidentally, you're the side piece in your own movie. Um, so yeah, because I've dealt with so much of that. Like when I first came across, I was very much off the thing around, I'm not going to forgive. Like if I forgive, I will forget, like just that kind of behavior, literally what I was just talking about earlier. And um, I would hold on to these things. I was bottling so much up. And hello, like by the way, we're going to be including some of the somatic work inside this as well. So we're going to be talking about all that aspect as well, because a lot of the shit that we're holding on to is really affecting us on a physical level.
Mm.
Um, and case in point, actually, this was very recent, is I had really bad like a stiff neck and shoulders. Now, obviously, we have the physical, like the obvious reasons around like being on the computer all day or sitting and not relaxing or like just bad posture and all of those things, right?
Mm.
The normal things um, that we are actually doing wrong. And sorry if it's getting a little bit dark, we don't have power, so I'm sitting
Don't
inside.
worry, you're
Hopefully,
good.
the brightness is gonna be okay. So yeah, like I had that and it was just, oh my gosh, it's been the worst that it's like I've ever had it. And the pinched nerves and the whole situation. And suddenly I just thought like randomly, I was like, oh, of course, like all of these things, the things that we're holding on to, emotions and stuff like that, they manifest in different aspects and areas of our body because that's how our tissues in our body hold them.
Mm.
And so I thought, hang on, if it's not going, there's obviously maybe going to be an emotional reason behind it. So normally, if it's the neck, it's stiffness, it's like the rigidity in life around like, looking at our things, or something to that effect. And I said, oh, hold on, let me just tap on this. And I did. And I could literally, I kid you not, I felt the pain and the discomfort just melting away. Now, does that mean I have to stop? Like I don't do any of the other things? No, of course not, because it's back. And that's obviously like because I was just working a lot yesterday, and I didn't take care, like, didn't take time to prioritize myself.
Mm-hmm.
But so those are other things that I need to address, like, taking care of myself, like making sure my posture, my seat, and everything else is fine. But when I did the tapping, like anything
Mm.
that I was holding on to that was affecting the rigidity that was causing the shoulders to come up or whatever it is, that painness melted away by the next day, like the next morning, because I did this at night. Um, I was mostly fine. Like I was 80% better
Wow,
in that sense.
amazing.
So yeah, so a lot of these things also just holding on to these things. Now imagine if we keep holding on to them. Do you find yourself getting sick a lot? Because I was very sick as a child.
Mm. And I
I
think
was very sick.
like but it's true. The thing is, you may not always. I know I interrupted you there, but you know
No,
me and my thoughts that just come
no,
when we talk about feeling it, like being sick or feeling it in your shoulders and stuff. Sometimes we don't even know where or how it's affecting our body, right?
yeah,
Until we've
yeah,
done the forgiveness. Like my example, it's also in my body, but slightly differently. So a lot of stuff happened that I don't need to go into on this live and I held on to for about 10 years. But 2020, I spent a lot of time finally intentionally healing and forgiving, doing the breath work, doing whatever I thought I needed to do to forgive and release. And I was more intentional about, I'm forgiving Mausam for this, I'm forgiving Pizza for this, I'm forgiving Cheza for that, whatever. Dude, I lost like 12 kilos in the space of
Wow.
2 months, 3 months or something. And I was,
Wow.
let me tell you, I was eating. If you guys were around during the era when I first moved to Greece, I was eating gyros all the time. I was eating burritos. Like I was eating more than I used to before. But somehow, every
Yeah.
time I did the forgiveness work, the weight would just drop off of
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
So you
It
don't
just sheds off.
know
It just
where it's
sheds.
crippling you.
Yeah. Yeah. I have so many stories like that. Like there's another one that I often share a lot, especially especially when I am doing my in-person
Mm,
events, and this is one of the most common ones, or anyone I'm speaking to, is with my back. So I injured my back as a child, my lower back as a child. And it was just something that kept on persisting because I hadn't been looked at. Like, there was a lot of emotionality around
we've lost your sound there. Yes, you're back.
screen time kicked in. Yeah, there was just a lot of emotionality like around, that particular injury. And I tapped on it once. This was literally, I think, almost a year ago. It's been probably 8, 9 months or something. The discomfort, like that. It went
Mm,
it went away. This was something that I've worked on so much. Like I hired a trainer, like, to help me, which helped obviously. And I did all the work and everything, like, but there was just something that just would not budge. Oh my God. Like that discomfort that I was waking up with in the mornings, gone. And it's so,
game changer.
it is. It is. So anyways, I digress. Like we're so all of that is we're going to be talking about that. But I just wanted to say like how much, we're holding on to these things. Emotions are energy in motion, and they have to be stored they have to be moved somehow.
Mm,
It is energy. Energy has to move. So if it's something that we are bottling up inside us, then it has to go
mm,
somewhere. It has to go
mm-hmm.
somewhere. Why not transmute it instead, so that it's serving a purpose in your life as opposed to bringing you down? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
Just and for those of you, if you're like me who don't know what transmute meant, I do now. But when I first heard transmute, I was like, what are they talking about? Just means transfer, like move the energy so it's no longer weighing you down. Because if it's not serving you, get rid of
You're
it. And
basically changing the state of the energy.
exactly.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, you can call it energy. Some people will say the subconscious mind. Like there's so many words we can use for it. But what in my words anyway, what we're trying to say here is yes, you can think, well, okay, fine, I've forgiven. But if you're not doing anything energetically, physically, subconsciously to actually move and process it, it can still come and weigh you down at some point. And so this is
Mm.
why we are actually hosting this workshop. And what we've done this time is we have forgiveness and then a break for 7 days. So we're going to take you through the EFT tapping and a few forgiveness exercises that we do ourselves. And then you're going to have 7 days to go and release what you want to release. And also,
And
one of
really
the things for
integrate
me,
it.
yeah, integrate aka that's what I mean exactly, like
Yeah. Yeah.
integrate slash release. One of the things for me is once I started that forgiving thing, other things were coming up like, oh, I didn't forgive that, oh, I didn't forgive that. So a benefit of having the forgiveness and gratitude 2 days at 7 days apart is that you have those 7 days to integrate and see what else comes up so you can process and
Yeah.
forgive and just release, right?
Yeah. Exactly. And honestly, this is something that I have been incorporating into my daily practice again, more intentionally now. And it's incredible just how much magic happens once you create the space.
Mm.
Because I've already had some wild manifestations come to life, and um, just it's just mind blowing. It's like, oh my gosh, I didn't even try.
Like, wait, what?
I didn't even try.
Where did that come from?
So yeah, so it becomes easier. And I would hear people saying this, like a part of me still feels that, but you hear people out there just talking about these things like, oh, what is this hocus pocus and all of this fluff and um like, oh no, that can't be true because everything feels so hard, so it's going to perennially feel hard for the rest of time. And that's not the case. Like I legit, like I've had these things just drop into my lap out of nowhere. I haven't seen something that came across, an email in December, um, and there's no sign of it. There's no trace of it. They had sent it, and all of a sudden I start doing this work and I see it in January,
Mm,
literally the next day. We
amazing.
can't make this shit up. We
Mm.
can't. Can't even if I wanted to or I tried.
And just like, if we wanted to talk non-energetically for a second,
Yeah,
look, talk practically,
yeah,
or whatever the word is, I don't know,
yeah, yeah,
3D. Like, when you like, you get peace of mind through forgiveness.
yeah,
Like, the energy you then move with when you know you've released shit is just different. Because at the end of the day, like you were saying, I can't remember what words you used, but you start working with that filter of not forgiving something, and then it trips you up. But if you're like, you know what, I've forgiven this person for doing that, and now I'm gonna
yeah,
go for it. Like, you don't hold resentment and you don't hold yourself
yeah,
back
yeah,
because you're not thinking that same thing is gonna replay. Instead, you're opening up and feeling more positive and optimistic. I mean, come on, like, optimistic.
yeah.
Your agenda is optimistic, right? So, like, it just helps in that
We're
sense
on brand
too.
here.
We're trying. We're trying.
So, yeah, and it's so true because I was even thinking, sorry, I lost my train of thought. Um, yeah, you stop
You
operating around that, like because we've cleared the emotions
know.
around it, right? Emotions, energy, emotion, we've moved it around. Um,
Mm-hmm.
we've given it another home to go to instead of
Mm-hmm.
just being like, stuck in
Mm-hmm.
ourselves. And once you do that, you stop operating out of what is this person who said this thing to me in, I don't know, kindergarten, going to think about me now. I mean, let's be real. So many, 90% of us or more are operating out of that. What is this person going to say? What are those people going to say? And not, besides the fact that it's social conditioning, anyone who's gone through bullying, anyone who's gone through some sort of abuse or something, right? There is that like it plays out in the back where someone has said something. Anyone who's experienced, I don't know, some form of gaslighting or something, we're
Mm-hmm.
constantly moving through the world and seeing or thinking constantly like, oh my gosh, is this person, whether we know it or not, what is this person going to think about me? Are they still going to make fun of me?
Mm-hmm.
Are they still going to be thinking, they still think like this about me, so I'm still this person? And we're holding on to that identity.
Mm-hmm.
And
You're allowing.
by doing the forgiveness work, exactly, by doing the forgiveness work, we are freeing ourselves from the tentacles. And I say tentacles very intentionally, like it's literally a stronghold. Imagine like the I don't know, what is it, like Spider-Man style or
Octopus.
something, like this
Mm-hmm.
literal, yeah, like an octopus, like, but like in the Marvel or DC world, like the things that like they grip you firmly. um we're basically just letting those shackles fall away. Just to paint a
Mm-hmm.
picture.
I get
What
that,
were
and
you
it's like
saying?
not allowing someone's actions to define you.
Yeah,
It's another form
yeah,
of doing that. It's like, you know what? Your actions messed me up. They made me feel angry and resentful. But do you know what? I'm going to release myself from the shackles of those actions, and it's not going to define me. And I'm
yeah,
going to go and I'm going to write my own movie, and I'm going to live in it and live my best happy.
yeah,
Live the life that brings you the most joy, right?
yeah, exactly. And you're taking your power back, because
Mm,
I talk a lot about retaining your personal power. And personal power is that. It is being that main character. It is being like we're sealing off those energy leaks because this becomes an energy leak, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, we are taking back like because right now, like when those tentacles are held in us, when the shackles are on, another visual I have for anyone who's as visual as me, it's like having those thick, shackles on, that we can't move out of that we see in the movies. And it's just breaking free from those because the second when you have those, like imagine the movement is quite limited. You can't move it around, you can't do anything. And hi Chanvi. And it's almost like that power is gone. It's given away. Like if we're talking again, bringing back to, because I know we have the best of both of our worlds, is I'm very like out there, like energetic, somatic, all of that work. But the minute we're doing, like, we're having and letting all of that, it's almost like it's siphoning our power away. So what we're doing
Mm-hmm.
in this instance is calling it back, and we're
Mm-hmm.
taking it back. And the fun and beautiful and wonderful thing with energy is that there there is no concept of time or space in the energy world. So you can literally call it back. Like it could have happened, at the beginning of your life or before then,
Mm-hmm.
or when you were a little girl, or even like 1 or 2 years ago. And the wonderful thing about that is you can still have it back here with you in the present, because in the quantum, all of that exists in the same time. It's
Mm-hmm.
all in the same realm. Everything is happening at the same time. All we're doing is just identifying and moving at our timeline. So hopefully that makes sense.
It's true. No, it's true. You've like mic dropped it.
Yeah. Oh, thank
I
you.
think
Thank you.
it's true. I agree. And so this is why we're doing this
Yeah.
workshop, because we've seen and also studied over the years what forgiveness can do
Yeah.
in our lives, in other people's lives. And so we've created a workshop, a two-part workshop. Like
Yeah.
we've created what we believe will be able to help you to actually create, like clear
Yeah.
that foundation using forgiveness, and also go with practices, the EFT tapping, which Mausam is going to talk about. Go with practices that you can actually implement in your life straight away and by yourself. Because
Yeah.
we like, as much as we love to always work with you all the time, and of course we want to, but we also want you to be able to go and do it by yourself without
Of
having to
course.
cry to us every 2 minutes and be like, oh my God, Most times this happened and I need to forgive. Please get on the line. Let's have an EFT workshop,
Yeah.
right?
And
So,
this is just also equipping.
no,
Sorry, had you finished?
go for it. Don't worry.
I was just saying, like, we're also going to be, it's almost like we're going to be holding your hands, hands, as like your friends, slash big sisters, I don't know, whichever way, um, in doing this, because we're going to just take you through this and then give you a little bit more so that you can go and integrate this in the week between the workshops. Um,
Mm,
and even as you mentioned, thank you for the tapping, the main tenets, the foundations, the pillars of tapping is I deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself. It's with yourself. Also, like this whole time we've been talking about like our forgiving others and situations and all of that. A huge part of it is forgiving ourselves.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That's a huge
Forgiving
part of it.
yourself for holding on to the anger, holding on to the resentment, allowing it to affect you, whatever part you played in it. Like you're forgiving yourself even for the things that you don't realize you haven't forgiven yourself for. Because
Yeah.
again, it's a subconscious side, right? That subconscious mind is, as far as I've learned it, that 7-year-old version of you. And so you want to forgive.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah,
Very
so
much.
that's going to be part one of the workshop, going into forgiveness, sharing. Not we're going to share EFT. We're also going to share other ways that you
Yeah.
can practice forgiveness and why, and
Yeah.
then give you a 7-day break, like we say, to integrate that, and then move on to lining it with gratitude, like starting to, because we're not going to talk about it today because we're going to have another live next week, but generally like raise the vibe using the gratitude side of things, because the thing is,
Yeah.
we also don't want so I always like to think of it as, if you just jump into the whole positivity and gratitude and manifesting and designing and goals and all that stuff, like you're throwing glitter on shit, or you're putting icing on poop. And I'm like, if I were to give you poop, if I were to literally grab your poop on a piece of paper, because I'm not going to touch your shit, but anyway, grab it, put some icing on it, add a cherry and a candle, are you going to eat that? You tell me.
Yeah.
Your favorite kind of
And
icing, not even make it shaped as your favorite thing.
I love that you say that, because I was just like, we are not going to be talking about toxic positivity here. Like, it's so easy for so many people to be like, hey, you know what? Like, just this is this is a topic for next week's live, but there's not going to be toxic positivity in there. Like, there is not going to be just like, just feel grateful, just go and do this thing. Like, a lot of people talk about that. I'm like, no, no, there's so much. And that's exactly what we're going to be covering, because I have dealt with that. Like, I've dealt with that. I'm gonna save this for next week's live, because it's so easy for me to just digress into that. We're gonna end up talking about gratitude, but it's gonna be so juicy. Like, I'm just getting excited thinking about it,
It's
seriously.
gonna be nice.
And
Like a
there's
nice
gonna
way
be
to
so
sort of wrap
much.
it up is to say,
Yeah.
not wrap up the life, but wrap up that topic, is to say the forgiveness element is, we are showing you the stuff that happens behind or before that toxic positivity, as you call it, because
Yeah.
all that, gratitude, positivity, high vibe, and all that crap, all that stuff is good. And I, you know me, I am pro, like I am always, acting like the sun shines out of my ass, but I don't necessarily scream about the work I've done to get there.
Yeah.
But I am doing work pretty much every single freaking night.
Yeah.
I'm cutting cords. So
Yeah.
all that to say, part one of this workshop is what's behind. If you're like, how can she be positive all the
Yeah.
time? Why are you so positive? Oh my God, I can't just be grateful, and which we're gonna cover next week. But
Yeah.
the forgiveness is the foundation, right?
It is. And really what I like to look at them as is two sides of the same coin. So really, it's like, it's one thing, it's really just two sides, it's the same thing. And a lot of the times, again, this is like on a separate note, but a lot of emotions, like, they're all part of the same side, like of the same coin. It's just often two sides. Pain and pleasure are the same thing, just two sides. So similarly, this is the same thing. It's like gratitude and forgiveness, I like to look at as two sides of the same coin, because even holding on to that stuff, think about self-sabotage. It's a way of yourself still protecting yourself. It's misguided self-love. So
That's true.
yeah, so what we're doing is essentially like, we can't, forgiveness is clearing the slate. Forgiveness is coming back home to yourself. Forgiveness is recalling and reclaiming your power back, calling your energy back to you. And it's really freeing yourself. It's like, stop taking poison. Simply coming back around full circle. Stop taking the poison. You know, take, I don't know, something more delicious instead. Why would you want to poison yourself? You know, so we're basically putting the poison chalice away and taking on a more, I don't know, tastier drink and better drink for us. And then that elixir, that whatever's in the potion, in the drink, that's what we're filling ourselves up with: gratitude.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
like that.
really, we can't do one without the other, and they go hand in hand. But it's about first building up that foundation. We want the foundation to be strong. So even if there is something maybe a bit shaky, sometimes you might be on a bit of a wobbly stool over here. So we're going to help you solidify that. Sometimes it might require breaking that down, sometimes painfully. So I'm in the works of it, so I know I'm right there with you. And then just building those foundations up so solid so that you can build and keep stacking on top of that.
That's true. Actually, I
Yeah.
never thought of the. I don't use the coin analogy so much because it sometimes can make me feel stuck. But when I think about the coin, I'm like, well, you're shining the coin. You're cleaning out all the dirt, so it actually looks like a €1 coin or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But I feel
Yeah.
like we should probably talk logistics, talk a little bit about
Yes.
what is it we're doing before we end up here, because I've got a Greek lesson, gang. I'm going back to Greek lessons, and I'm so excited. So before I head to my Greek lesson here, I feel like we should spend a bit of time just talking about what they're actually offering.
Yeah. Do you wanna do you wanna explain it?
I can start,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
These reminders.
Because you're
So
just
my
better
Greek lesson,
with the words.
ah, my Greek lesson reminders popped up and I can't remove it. So I can't see anything right now. But if you
Oh,
can see me and hear me, all
yeah, I
good.
can see you.
So we are going to be hosting a 2-day workshop, forgiveness and gratitude workshop with EFT tapping inside of it. This is going to start on Saturday, the 3rd of February, 5 p.m. UK time. Am I correct?
Was it
No,
five?
3
No.
3 p.m.
5
UK
p.m.
time,
Yeah.
5 p.m. Greek time,
And
6 p.m.
it's
Kenya
6
time.
p.m. Kenya
And
time.
if you have a different time zone, ask us and we'll tell you what it is.
Yeah. I think it
It's going to
was
be
10
recorded,
a.m. Eastern time, I think.
probably.
Yeah. I think mm, I think it was.
Yes, it is 10 a.m. Eastern time. That's
Yeah.
7 hours behind.
Yeah,
So
okay.
we're going to be hosting it 2 parts. 3rd of February is when it starts. We're going to take you through forgiveness, give you exercises that helped us, as well as EFT tapping on top of those exercises. So it's not just one exercise, many powerful exercises. I wouldn't say many, but more than one
Yeah.
powerful exercises. And then over the 7 days before you go to the gratitude side of things, there's an option where we can support you and you go and you integrate, you work with whatever you've got, you see what else comes up, you work through it. That's the forgiveness. 7 days later, we talk about gratitude, same thing. Do, and then you're gone. With an option for a VIP option where you have support from us for an extra 7 days on top of that. So
Yeah.
in the end, you end up with what?
Actually,
714.
probably. I think it was more.
There's
I
more,
think it
yes.
was,
I'm
you
not
get
done.
almost, yeah.
I'm not
Oh, yeah.
done.
Finish.
There's more. With that VIP option, if you do choose the VIP option, you get 14 days of support in between these two, or covering the gratitude and forgiveness, plus a group coaching call with Mausam and I, where we will
Yeah.
actually make sure we coach everybody through it. And then, hey, Neil, and then afterwards, you get another 7 days of support. So essentially, you're getting 1, 2, 3 live calls with us, one on forgiveness, one on gratitude, and one on some cool
The
shit.
group coaching.
It's mainly gratitude and forgiveness, but Mosam and I were both coaches.
Yeah.
Mosam is, I guess you can tell them more detail, but generally a confidence coach. I'm a main character energy coach, but it's confidence, it's the same sort of
Yeah.
thing. Manifestation, self mastery, productivity, all of that, we cover it, but we don't need to go into details right now. Check our bios. So you get 3 calls, 21 days of support, radical self love workbook from Awesome
Well,
Dearest.
yeah. Extra bonuses.
Yeah, all right. We'll just say extra
Yeah.
bonuses.
Yeah.
My 14
Yeah.
day gratitude boost, like so many bonuses if you get the VIP
Yeah.
option. If you don't get the VIP option, you still get, correct me if I'm wrong here, 7 days of support in between day 1 and day 2.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, how do we, I think they get for a little bit after as well, just to, as they integrate the
And
gratitude
then,
as well.
yes,
So
and the 2 days
essentially,
after
you're
the
getting
workshop.
2 days. Yeah. So it's essentially you're getting over a week, 2 week. My math is bad, but all of that support with us in between the two sessions, of course, but also a little bit after the sessions as well. So all of that. So I think so the just recapping what you've said, um, we have the workshop option. So if you want to join that, that is the easiest, and we've tried to keep this as low cost as possible. So that's going to be $33, um, and 6,000 shillings for anyone like in Kenya, and whatever the equivalent is. I think it was
27 pounds.
£27, um, for that one. And then if you want to, if you choose, and that comes with that support. So you have the two workshops, you get the support in between, and we're going to give you like all of the tools that you need. Um, to essentially create magic for the rest of, the year in your life. Um, and if you decide to opt in for the VIP, which by the way, we have very limited spaces for that. So I would hop on because the sooner you sign up, the more support you get from us. And you get access to the bonuses as well as we are prepping in the lead up to that. So that will really give you a solid foundation. Um, and the VIP option is literally everything Tanya said that you get. So whatever the regular one is, and then you get an additional call with us like a group coaching call and other bonuses. And one of them is my radical self-love workbook, which is thebomb.com. And it's literally the foundation of everything I have today, and Tanya's gratitude boost as well, which is going to be an incredible just kind of segue into our workshop as well. And all of that is for only, did we say £111?
111
£111,
pounds, $144,
$44.
and
I think it
something
was like
thousand shillings.
20,000 shillings, something. So yeah, if you have any questions, please let us know. Our DMs are open. Is there anything else you want to add to that?
That's pretty much it. I would love to hear if anyone has watched this. Comment below and let us
Yeah,
know anything related to forgiveness, anything that resonates, anything that you disagree with, anything that you agree with, or any questions that you have about the 2-day workshop. Which, very last note here, the last one we did, I recorded and I lost the recording, and then we decided, you know what, let's make it more expansive. So now it's going to
yeah.
be a bigger one. It's going to be recorded, and then we potentially might
And
not
you
do
get
it live
lifetime access
again,
to this.
which means
Yeah.
you do
And you get
get
lifetime
lifetime
access to
access.
this.
You can rewatch it, but it also means this could be the last time that you get to do the forgiveness and gratitude workshop live with us.
Live. And I don't know about you, but I love the live. Honestly, I'm not even saying this to get anyone to like sign up. If and whatever the issue, if you have any issues, if you have any, like, just please come and talk to us. Like, that is one huge part of everything that I do. So probably should have done this in the beginning, but for anyone who doesn't know me, my name is Mausam. I am a confidence and voice activation coach and tapping practitioner and host of the Optimistic Agenda podcast. And a lot of my work is around speaking up, reclaiming your personal power, and which we've spoken extensively about if you've made it till here, and speaking up, like using the voice. The voice is a powerful attractor. It's a powerful point of attraction, and a tool that we have already within us. And a lot of the times we're thinking for other people. Please don't do that. Please, if you have any issues, if you have any questions, there's nothing like a silly question, like an obvious anything. Like, seriously, like, I'm not even saying that just for the sake of it. Like, genuinely, please come and talk to us. Either one of us, whoever you feel comfortable going to, just come and chat with us. Just drop into our DMs, send us an email, whatever floats your boat. Like, speak up so that we can find a way to help you, because we want to get this to as many people as possible, because this has been so life-changing. Like, I cannot even begin to tell you how much it's freed me, how much of my confidence it has given me back, how much of my radiance it has given me, how much of me it has given me back. I would not be doing this if I hadn't done that work. I'm sure Tanya can say the same.
For sure, game
come and
changer.
speak to us. Yeah, come in, and that's the whole reason we're doing this. So come and speak to us and let us know. I think I
Closing
feel
note.
like I digressed, but yes.
Closing note. Forgiveness is.
Yeah.
Give me a
Please let us
sentence.
know what forgiveness is to you.
Oh, I
Are
meant
you
you.
asking me? Forgiveness is liberation. Forgiveness is liberation.
Forgiveness is clear. Is start setting a solid foundation. So
Yeah. Yeah.
hit us up in the
Let us
DMs.
know
Keep an eye
what
out for the
forgiveness
link.
is for you.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Let us know.
Yeah.
The links are in our bios, our
Yes.
stories, our websites. Wherever you're watching this, there's probably a link. If there's no link, comment and ask for a link. And
Yeah.
I hope to see you on the 3rd of February.
Yes.
All right, gang. Mausam, thank you. It was so
Thank you
fun
so much.
talking about forgiveness.
It
Next
was.
week,
We've
we're going to
gone way
cover
over time.
gratitude.
Yes.
But I hope you guys have an awesome time. Enjoyed the life. Share your comments. Awesome. I will see you soon.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye for now, folks.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Optimistic Agenda podcast. If you loved what you heard, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. I would love for us to stay connected, and I'm always excited to hear your thoughts. Find me on Instagram at The Optimistic Agenda, where I also share more inspiration and behind the scenes moments. If today's conversation resonated with you, please do me a favor. Share it with your friends. Your support helps us spread the message and the good juju to more listeners. And if you could take a moment to leave a quick 5-star review, that would mean the world to me. It's like a virtual high five. Remember, you are so much more powerful than you were made to believe. And I will see you in the next episode. Bye.